Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and welcome back to the MU Starscream build. We're on part 3 now. Gotten this far with this build. This is going to be kind of a short video because I'm trying to piece it up into sections so that it's not just one huge thing, and this section is rather small and fairly self-contained. So we're basically going to build this little piece right here, which is surprisingly complicated, and put the legs on it. This is the bottom part of the torso. We're going to be picking up at about a third of the way down page 14 and finishing that off, and as well as page 15. The bottom of page 15 you will have this much of the body complete right here. So let's get back to it. This is going to be a quick section, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit after we finish this bit of build. I hit the start button on the camera, but it didn't start, and I didn't realize it first. I glanced up and noticed the error after attaching one or two parts. Not much was missed, as the next part is pretty much identical to the part I've already added on, but I wanted to let you know that I had already started and the camera didn't quite start when it should have. most everything so far has been quite straightforward. I've commented a few times that many of the tabs and slots are arranged in such a way that you can't put things on the wrong way. However, the bottom plate here for this torso section is an exception. It can easily be put on backwards, or so it seems. I studied it for a while to be sure I didn't put things on backwards. You may have noticed that on the section we just built, there is an F on one side and a B on the other, which I believe is F for front and B for back. Now, knowing that, first of all, make sure you add this piece on so the colored side is facing down and not up into the body. Second of all, you'll notice that the two square areas where the legs connect have more or less 4 sides. One side has no slots, 2 of the sides only have 1 slot, and one side has 2 slots. The side that has 2 slots is the front of the leg. If you notice on the legs, they have 2 tabs on the side, 2 tabs on the front, and none on the back. So pay attention to the way the tabs are arranged to make sure that those 2 tab side goes towards the F or front side, and you'll put this part on correctly. And there we go, we're all finished. That didn't take long. I think altogether it was about 40 minutes just to do this part and add the legs on. It's kind of short, but did that absolutely intentionally because I wanted to separate this section out on its own because the next part is doing an arm and it's going to be kind of long. I'm actually partway through doing one of the arms and part of the gun and still trying to figure out how I'm going to divide that up because I'm trying to do logical sections and put in the titles what page numbers I'm on, so for the people who are just looking for a particular thing. But I do want to take just a moment to comment that so far this build is pretty straightforward for a MU build. It's been a while since I've done an MU. I've done 3 MU Transformer models so far, and they definitely have their complex parts. I've always been very fascinated with how complex things get, but then it comes together into this just really in-depth and layered part. Megatron was just blew me away when I built the MU Megatron model because there were parts that just kind of locked on top of other parts and other parts on top of that, and it was absolutely fascinating. And this one is doing some of the same, but it's coming together in a very simple, straightforward way, so I'm kind of appreciating that right now. And I'm having to think, is it that it's just really that simple and straightforward? It's just a lot to it? Or is it just that, you know, I've been doing this, what am I, 7 years now I've been doing this. Here recently I've been building some rather complex Metal Earth models. With like the Star Wars models that have come out recently have been really complex. So this is actually kind of feeling like a little bit of a break from that. Still though, it's going to be a big model. It looks like I've gotten quite a lot done. In reality, I'm probably slightly less than halfway done at this point, because the upper body and the arms are pretty complex. I mean, the legs are complex, there's a lot to it, but I think the hardest thing was just getting the 2 sides together on these kind of angled seam pieces. That was a little bit of a struggle, but overall it's been pretty simple and straightforward. We'll see how that holds out once we start progressing into the upper half of the body, because that's where I'm expecting things to get more complex, especially with the arms and guns. And honestly, I've already gotten into that, and it's a little more complex, but still, so far, not too bad. I'm going to quit rambling on for too much because I do intend on doing an overall review at the end. But honestly, I'll probably call back on this section of what I'm recording for notes for that, because I still got quite a ways to go. Next up is going to be starting on one of the arms, so I'll see you in that video, if not some other video between now and then. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for your support. And as always, keep it on and stay safe.